Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's tutorial I'll be teaching you how to sew this beautiful corset. So let's get started, guys. This is the back pattern and I added my zipper allowance for the back. I said it when I was drafting that I'll add my zipper allowance at the back for my fabric. For the back, I'm adding the zipper allowance from my fabric. You can see I also added some allowance around my patterns, and I cut two pieces for my line. For this one here is on fold. This one is on fold and the other one is actually cut on pieces. I'll go ahead to unpin it and separate my pattern from my actual piece. You can see I'm also going to take out my lining so that I can start sewing. So guys, right now this is actually what my actual piece look like after cutting it. So this is the reason why I actually to cut the center part on fold. So right now this is what it should look like when you put everything together like this. So it's time for me to start sewing. I would place my side front to my center front, then I'll pin down at 0.5 inches. So this is the inches that I added while cutting it. So I'll be pinning it down there. So I'll make sure that I take out that inches because I need this dress to be very tight on my body when I'm wearing it. So after pinning here, I'm also going to repeat the same thing to this other side here. I'm also going to pin it down. Then after pinning down, I'm going to sew it at 0.5 inches, just the way I pinned it down. That's how I'm going to sew it. So I'll go ahead to sew it and come back and show you what it actually looks like when I'm done sewing. So guys, right now I'm actually done sewing and this is what it looks like. I'm done sewing. You can see what it's looking like. So right now I'm going to bring in these little pieces that I cut out here. I'll be using it to create my boning channel. This is why I made these pieces, and this is just what I'm trying to show you what I'll be using it for, to create a boning channel to pass my boning through. So I'll go ahead to sew this thing right now, then I'll come back and show you what it looks like. So guys, this is it. I'm done stitching it down. So this is my strap I'll be using for the hand of this dress, the strap for the dress. So I have 15 inches. Remember when I was cutting out the pattern, what I measured at is 7.5. So I cut out 15 inches right now. So guys, at this point it's time for me to make a drip. So I'm using these little pieces of fabric that I have left to create my drip. I don't have much fabric, so if you want to create your drip, I will advise you to fold your fabric into two like this and run a stitch to close the end, then you turn it over. But in this case I only have this little fabric remaining, so I'm just trying to give you an example of what I would be doing with it. So I'm going to fold in this edge, this rough edge like this. I just need a straight edge. I'll be using my hemming gum to hold that edge later. So I'm going to bring in my top. This is the main piece for my top. I'm going to be measuring. You can see where I place my tape. I'm going to measure it to my under bust, which is, I have 6 here. So the total length of this drip I'll be having for the front is going to be 6 inches. So right now I'm going to be pleating. I'm just trying to give you an example of what I'm going to do, because after I'm done doing this, I'm actually going to go over and iron it so that everything stays in place. I'm just trying to show you what I need to do here. I'm just going to be pleating it. Actually, I want to have enough pleats on this dress because I love pleated dresses. So I want to have enough drip on it. So if you don't want to have much, you can just pleat a little and just go ahead and stitch it down to your actual piece. But I need to have a lot on it. So you can already have 3 drip already. So this one is the 4th one. This fabric is actually very slippery, so I'm going to be using my iron to hold it down later. I'm just giving an example of what I will be doing, and also use your pin to hold it down. So this is the 4th one here. So I'm going to be having a 4 drips on this front piece here. So I'll be pinning everything down properly to hold it down before I take my measurements. So right now, remember that in the top of this drape I measured out 6 inches from the top to the underbust. So that's the 6 inches that I need right now. So I'll be folding this rough edge here because I need a straight edge. So I'll be folding it in and I'll use my pin to hold it down. So right now the total length of this front piece should be 6 inches. The total length of this front piece should be 6 inches, not more than 6 inches, because from the upper part of this top to the underbust is 6 inches. So I'm just going to fold in all this rough edge because I need a straight edge at this point here. This is what I'm trying to do. So I'm just going to bring in this top here. I'm just trying to show you what you should do here, and I'm going to be putting it like this. Just look at what I'm doing. Pay attention here. I'm going to take it all the way up. I'm going to use it to cover the top here like this. Then I'm going to be sticking it into the armhole area. After sticking it into the armhole area, you'll see what it looks like. So I'm going to just arrange it first, and then look at what I'm going to do. So I'm trying to hold up this place very well to make sure that it's straight. This under this part that I have here at the underbust, I need to have a straight edge there. Remember that this fabric is just the pieces. I'm just giving an example of what it should look like when you are sewing on your own fabric. So this is what you should have here. So go ahead and stick it inside the armhole area, just the way I'm showing you. This edge part here, go ahead and place it there and pin it down, because that is where your drip should be going into. This is the only drip, the side that your drip should enter. That's the place you'll be sewing down. So you can see what I'm doing. I'm trying to hold it down here. So go ahead and hold yours the same way. Then repeat the same thing to this other side like this. Carefully put it into the armhole area. Then you pin it down. So this is what the back is looking like. So right now, and this is my strap. You can see what is in this is my strap here for the front. I'm gonna need to fix it, but this is the way I'll be fixing it like this. See, make sure that you place your strap the same way I placed mine, and repeat the same thing to the other side. You can see what it looks like here. So I'm just trying to still arrange my drip because this material is actually difficult for me to hold down, so I have to take my time like this. And but when you hold it down with your iron, it's going to stay. So I'm just trying to place it very well before I iron it. So I just keep on checking to know that it's actually looking good and perfect. So this is the way it should look like when you are turning it with your lining. Make sure that when you're turning it on lining, this armhole area is stick up, and this place here I'll be using my hemming glue to hold it down, this rough edge. Then I'll trim out any excess that I have here. So guys, this is time for me to work on the back. So I want you to know that this is my lining. I've also got ahead to join my lining, and this is the way I'll be sewing my lining to this dress, just like this. This is where I kept it. This is where I'll be sewing it, and this is my so guys, this is my back piece. So right now I'm notching out the zipper allowance side, and I'll go ahead to separate it. Then I went ahead to slant it open. You can see what I'm doing here. So after taking out my pins, I wanted to separate my lining from my actual piece here, and this is what this back piece is looking like. So I'll go ahead to join my back piece to my front piece. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm just going to use this area here, this edge area here. I'm going to fix the two of them together like this because I want to hold them down and I don't want to have any excess. I want to make sure that everything is equal. That's why I need to hold it down like this, and the way the fabric I'm using is acting. I do not want any mistake in this dress, so I'm just trying to hold it down because I don't want the dress to move. And you can see that the both of them are the same, so I'm just going to hold it down with my pins right now, 0.5 inches. Okay, sorry, at 1 inches. Remember I added 1 inches to this dress when I was drafting the pattern, so I'm just going to be using my tape to hold it down. Then I'll be pinning it at that 1 inches that I added. So I'm going to be taking away that 1 inch sewing allowance that I added to this dress when I was sewing it. So right now you can see what I'm not going to be sewing it like this. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to be taking out my pins again. I'll still hold down my strap in place, and I'll take away this part that is in the armhole side. So this is what I have here. You can see I'm just going to take out that pin and I'm going to place it here. You can see that I left a little bit allowance, like 1 inch allowance there. I'm also going to pin back my back piece back there, just like this. And this is what I'll be having, and this is what it's going to look like when I fold in my draped into the armhole area while I'm sewing it. I'm also going to repeat the same thing that I did here for this other piece here, so I need you to pay attention if you're not paying attention. So I'm going to place it in the strap here. I'm going to place the strap, the two placed together like this. I'm also going to hold down this armhole side. You can see what I'm going to do here. I'm going to hold it down at 1 inches like this. Then I'm also going to join the other side to it at 1 inches, so in allowance that I added on this pattern when I was drafting it. So guys, if you have gotten to this point and you have not yet subscribed, please do subscribe, put on the notification bell, comment, share, like, tell me what you think about this video. So I'm going to be taking out my back piece from this strap area, and I'm going to still hold it down there. And this is what I have here like this. You can see what I have is looking good. So remember that this drip area at the armhole should be stick into the armhole when you are turning it with your lining. So I'm so sorry that these pieces here is little because I don't have much pieces for it. So I'm just trying to show you what it should look like when you're actually doing it on your pieces. And you can see that the length of this drip stopped at the underpart. So I'll also go ahead to join my back lining to my front lining, just the way I did for this actual top. Then I'll be turning it around because I noticed that I lost the video for this for the turning. So I'll go ahead to stitch all these parts down and I'll turn it and come back and show. So right now I'm going ahead to turn this around. So at this point, see this edge at the drip area, you can see what it looks like. I've used my hemming gum to glue it, and I did not turn it around with my lining. It was actually the actual piece that I turned and the armhole area. So this pointy part here at the back, this pointy part I'm showing you at this pattern here, this is where I will be joining my armhole, the strap. You can see this is where I'll be joining the strap to the back like this. I'm going to be fixing it like this. After fixing it, then I will go ahead to just run a stitch here like this, and I also repeat the same thing to the other sleeve. I'm so sorry that this video became dark and I did not have the turning area. I did not know that my camera was off. That's the reason why. So this is what it looks like. This is what it should look like when you are done turning. And I've also go ahead to iron it, so don't forget to iron your. For this side, you also be repeating the same thing at the back. So you stick it in and sew it down. So this is what it should look like. So right now at this back area, this down area here, I did not close it. So guys, at this area here, I want you to know that before you close it with your lining, you should add in your boning. So guys, for this edge part, you can just go ahead to use the pieces like this to cover it up, just like this, and then sew it down. Just use to cover this head part here. But in this tutorial, I won't be using. I'll just go ahead to use my lining and just cover it. Then I'll come back and show you what it looks like. So guys, this is what it actually looks like. Guys, this is what it looks like. You can see it. I'm actually holding it down because I've not added the zip. If you have not subscribed to this channel, please do subscribe, put on the notification bell. See you in my next video. Bye.